Let me take that again. You're welcome to my live video. My name is Damilola Glovio, and I help couples enjoy marriage. Makes me so excited. Like, you have a purpose in life. How are you doing? So last week we couldn't do this because I was in transit. I was in transit. I was on the road and I couldn't get home before 5 p.m., right? Even before 6. So I had to postpone it, right? So here we are today. I've missed you guys so much and I'm so happy to be back. So happy to be back again. So you're welcome to my live video. When you join, please like the live, say hello, hi, let me see you, let me acknowledge you. My dress is too up. Hi guys, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know, should I tuck this air in? Oh, this is nice. Oh, my darling, how are you? I missed you guys. Last week I couldn't join, I couldn't come. I went out, but I'm here now. How are you doing, my darling? I love you so much. In case you don't know now. You're always supporting me. Don't worry, I will soon blow. When I blow, I have all your names written somewhere. When I blow, you're gonna feel me. Don't worry. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me so that we can just continue. I don't want to waste your time today. Just let's get straight into it. And that's it. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me so that we can just get into it. I want to try to write something here. Or not. Can you hear me? I miss you so much. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me so that we can start. I hope my face is not getting covered. Okay, that means you can hear me. I can see your response. So you can hear me. All right, let's get into it. So today we're gonna be talking about, okay, thank you, darling. We're gonna be talking about submission in marriage. Yeah, right. I want to say yeah and right together. We're gonna be talking about submission in marriage, right? Okay, so let's start already. So here, introduction, it says that wives, submit yourself unto your own husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Oh, thank you, my darling. Thank you so much. All right. Let's start again. Wives, submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as church also loved the church, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. That's Ephesians 5:22-25. Let me say that again. Ephesians 5:22-25. Anyone who wants to check that out, please tap on your screen, like this live, please. Thank you. Help your sister or help your tribal chief. Okay. Submission is the act of accepting another power or authority. It could sometimes be called obedience or humility, right? Our God hates disorderliness. So the way the word they explain submission is not that you are suffering in the house, or you have to go and suffer or be a slave to your husband. No, it is just to accept authority, right? That our God hates disorderliness. That's why God put order in the family. Okay, he wants everybody to follow order. Don't be scattered. Don't everybody's talking at the same time. That's not what God wants for us. He wants order. You get my point, right? So a lot of women need to be, it does, yes, the submission matters seriously, because there are some women that they talk more than their husbands. When the husband say one thing, they've said 1 million things before the husband lands. You get? So God loves orderliness. God does not like, he's not a God of confusion. Okay, so people need to understand that. I mean, people need to understand that is not, God is not telling you to come and be a slave in your marriage. A lot of people think that you are coming to come and slave yourself away in marriage. That's when they hear submission, it's like they want to chop you raw. That no, I can't submit, or I can't do this. It's not that you are a slave to your husband. You are partners. You are lovers. Just obey order. Like, okay, my husband said I should do this. My husband said I should not do this. Let me check with my husband first. It's even interesting. It's even sweet. In marriage, people even use that my husband is a thing because they're excited about it. Oh, I can't, let me check with my husband. It's submission. You're submitting to him. Oh, let me check with my husband, let me call you back, or let me check with my wife. Submit to each other is not you being a slave or you just slaving away your life. No, when you hear submission, relax. It's not, no. So yeah, I needed to put that out there, that submission is not you slaving away in marriage. No, it's you obeying, follow orders, and that's it. Okay? All right. Moving on. They said, why submission? Why should people submit? Why should wives submit? Basically, it says here that there's a universal order of authority in the scripture which could be represented as follow. That's God, Christ, man, woman, and children. So God, Christ, man, woman, and children. It should go that way. Okay? So parents who, when a child comes to you, when daddy has said no, you now go back behind the back to go and do what daddy says the child should not do. You're not following order. In fact, you are disrupting the child's life, because the child will be like, oh, if daddy should say no, mommy will say no. Or if mommy should say no, daddy will say yes. No. You're supposed to have one voice in the house, at home. If both of us should agree that, oh, these children are not doing this thing, they are not doing this thing. So when the child come behind my husband's back and come and say, mommy, I want to do this thing, and my husband has already said no, and we say, your daddy said no. No is no. That is how it should be in the house, in the family. Okay? All right. So B, God commands us to be subject to all existing authorities, like follow through, follow authorities, follow order. That's just it. I mentioned that before. God hates disorderliness, right? Obedience is more important. I mentioned this in my last short video, yeah, that obedience is more important than all forms of religious observances, sacrifices, offerings, and ceremonies. Obedience, when you obey God, when you obey your husband, there's a blessing over your head. There's a covering over your head. So when people say submit, It's not that, I don't know how people see it and they feel like it's a terrible thing. No, God has ordered this, that you obey your husband. So just let him be. You see, you don't even have to stress him. You don't even, whatever he is, whoever he is, just obey, because God said you should obey him, and just let it go. All right, I hope you guys are learning that as a Damiglo tribe, we do not do things in a disorderly way. We follow Christ, follow the scripture, submit to our husband, and that does not mean that we are slavering away, or we are, I don't know, the way the word says or the way it is said on Instagram or on socials. That is not what it is. Just follow God, obey your husband, submit to your husband, and get the blessings. Okay? All right. Okay. So yeah, they said submission entails a practical. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Submission entails a practical demonstration of the virtue of humility. Like you humble yourself. Yes, humble yourself. You humble yourself before your spouse. Like, humility is nothing. Submission is nothing. It's nothing to just submit. You know, submission is childlike. You know, when you tell your child that don't do this or stay there, do this, and tell, okay, mommy, okay, daddy, that's it. Submission is Christ-like. God submitted himself to his Father to come and die for us. He wasn't proud. You know, God could have said that, I cannot go, I'm your son, and I cannot go and die. But God submitted himself. He humbled himself. That's it. Like, just submit. Just, Yorubas will say, Rera Wale. Submit. Be, I don't know. You get it? Okay, so next subheading, authority of the husband. The man, the head of a woman is the man, hence the husband is the head of the wife, right? The husband has total authority over the wife in all things, right? And this made me remember the movie I saw over the weekend. No, not over in the weekend, over the week. Love something. I talked about it on my posts, on my status, I think yesterday. Love notes. Yeah, that's the word. Love notes. That the wife, she didn't submit herself to her husband, and there was disorderliness in that home. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. Love Notes is on YouTube. You should watch it. You know, the woman, she didn't let her husband. Yes, thank you, darling. That's the name of the movie. You know, she was just, in fact, she was even gaslighting her husband. You know, you want to make decisions, just run it through. It's not like it's going to cut you off. That's why you need to choose right. Okay, you need to choose right, because when you tell your husband that I want to do something like this or I want to do this, he's supposed to like listen to you and support you. But like, you are just jumping and you are doing things as though you are single. You are no more single, right? You are no more single. You are with your spouse now. You are married now. So follow through. Just run it through him, and you will not die. You cannot die. That's it. Okay. So here they say that the man has authority over every member of his household. Husbands should exercise this God-given authority in compassion and cautiousness, dealing with their wives and children in honor as joint heirs of the grace of life, so that their prayers would not be hindered. Exactly. So for your prayers not to be hindered, thank you. You will not die. You can't die. It's just to humble yourself, basically. And for your prayers not to be answered, it's just ideal. It's just normal for you to just submit, follow God, do what God says we should do, regardless. Okay? So next, subheading, extent of wife's submission. Yeah? Submission of the wife in marriage is total or absolute. Like, just let go. You don't have to, you do not submit today and say you're collecting your submission back tomorrow. No, totally submit. If I'm married to you, or we are married, and they say, okay, wife, submit to your husband, just submit. No question asked. Don't be saying, why should I submit? It's going to stifle me, or make me not progress, or make me not. No, just obey. That's why we said that you should marry right. When you marry right, it will not be a problem. It will not be an issue for you to submit to someone. You get my point? When you choose the partner that God wants you to choose, submission will not be hard. When you choose a man that make good decisions, when you choose a man that loves God, when you choose a man, that can hear God for himself, when you choose a man that God is leading, when you choose a man that stays in the place of prayer, when you choose a man that is a leader, you will submit. It's not a hard thing. You will submit. You, you will submit. It's because some people choose wrongly, you get, and they'll be like, no, I can't submit to this person, I can't submit to this man, something like that. Exactly, my sister. Marry a correct head so you can submit easily to him. Lobaton Sefini. When you marry right and you marry that man that God says, the man God has ordained for you to marry, what submission? If you say, let's go there, let's go, because I know that God is working in you. Because I know that, you're a child of God and God is speaking to you. So it's not hard. It's, all these people, I don't know what to use. For lack of better word, let's say worldly people, and they just jump into marriage and they get into it and they realize that, so this is how it is, and they jump out. No, that's like when you are patient and you allow God choose for you, you will marry and you will submit and you will enjoy your marriage. That's it. Okay, so next subheading, why should some people not submit to their husband? Like the reason why some people do not submit to their husband. Number one, pride. They said the answer is basically that of pride. This pride is manifested in diverse manners. Disparity in age. When a woman is older than the man, you feel like, oh, I can't submit to him, I'm older than you. You get my point? And we talked about this at the first book session. We talked about choice of marriage, right? That some people, they be like, oh, he must be older than me. And I understand, truthfully, when a man is older than you, you'll be like, okay, he's an agbalagba, let me submit to him. So here they're talking about it, that disparity in age can cause a woman not to submit to her husband. Okay, so if you know that you by yourself as a woman, you are proud because you know yourself. If you know that you are proud, it's just better to marry someone that is, agbalagba, and pray to God that this is the man for you. Because if God should want to teach you that humility, to humble you, you realize that you will marry somebody that is younger and you'll be humbled by fire by force. Okay, so that's why singles need to work on themselves before they even start asking God for their marriage partner. You guess, because God needs to tackle all of these things first before you now join with another person. Okay, the next point is social status. Acquisition of university degrees, job placement, financial status. When the woman is richer, you feel like you cannot submit. When the men don't even have this issue. Most men, they don't really have this issue. Women, we even see them, women in power, they are more wicked than men in power. You get, because they feel like, oh, I've arrived, I'm the CEO of this company, I own all of this place. They can, maybe want to walk over their spouses. You get my point? So social status can make a woman not to submit. Age can make a woman not to submit. Wrong counsel can make a woman not to submit. When she has friends and relatives that, they are advising her. You get my point? And she'd be like, oh, my friend said, my mom said, my sister said. You get my point, right? So another point is spiritual unbrokenness. When you are still nurturing your ego, you will not submit, because when you are proud, you're like, I can't submit. I can't do this, I can't do that. You can't tell me to sit at home. You can't tell me not to wear this. You can't tell me not to do this. You can't tell me what to do. What's that word? Say, no, but you go tell me what I go do. No, but you go tell me what I go do. There's some people like that. You can't do that in marriage, because he go tell you what you go do and you're gonna do it. That's it. Another one is background influence. You take pride in your pedigree. This thing now on IG, you say old money. Say your family is from a wealthy family. Maybe the guy is just trying. Maybe he's an entrepreneur that is just trying to make ends meet, and you fell in love, and you have old money or Lagos money. You be like, no, I can't submit to him. So all of these things can make a woman not to submit. Sophistication. You feel like you are more cultured and refined than your spouse. You are just you are a baddie, and the guy is just one cool guy from God knows where. you will not want to submit to him because your friends cannot see you that you're submitting to that kind of man. You get my point, right? Another point is wrong idea. You think that seeing marriage on equality basis, like it has to be 50-50. If he does this, I do that. If he can't do this, I can't do that. He has to do it like this. We have to follow the bill back to back. He must pay this, I must pay that. Some people have that mentality and they don't want to submit. Some people, their husband want to take care of them. They'll be like, no, you can't take care of me. I can take care of myself. Okay. I want to do this for you. Oh, no, you can't. I'm okay. I'm independent. Some people, they are in the boski. Thank you. Body with bad manners and character. Thank you, my sister. They'll be like, no, I'm a body, but you are all terrible. They have terrible character. You get my point, right? Okay, another point is when there is infidelity from the side of the husband, right? Exactly. Body indeed. When there's infidelity from the side of the husband, so as a man, you want your wife to submit to you. You cannot be cheating on her. You have to be faithful. Because you're gonna lose your respect if you want me to submit to you and then you are cheating and then you are jumping all around and you don't respect me, you don't honor me, you don't give me my own due respect. They say respect is reciprocal. When you respect me, I respect you. Right? But you are jumping up and down. There's no woman that would submit to that kind of man. A man that is jumping around and today she's reading something on your phone that you have slept with this, or you are flirting with this, you are flirting with that person, or you are flirting with her friends. She's not gonna take you seriously. If you want a woman to submit to you, you have to come correct as a man. You have to come correct. Like, okay, I'm giving you all of this. Like you said, she said she go see you and they'll be like, homo, this guy is trying. I got to submit to this guy. Like, he's not a man that is disrespecting you outside and giving you, and people are calling you names. You will not submit to that kind of man. Again, when you choose right, you will submit. Okay? All right. So let's move to our next subheading. We are almost done with the first chapter. Some examples of women when usurped men's authority and the consequences. Like some women who did not obey their husbands or obey authority. Yeah, some examples in the Bible. Number one is Adam and Eve eating the fruits of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Right? Like they ate from the fruit. God told them not to eat. They did not submit to authority. They did not obey God's authority. They did not obey, God told them not to do something. Your husband tells you not to do something and you go ahead to do it. The consequences, we are still suffering from it till today. You get my point. Number two, Abraham and Sarah. Because of Sarah not obeying Abraham, she pushed her husband with what's her name? Agar. And they had Ishmael. You get my point that disobedience can cost you a lot. Not submitting can cost your family, cost your marriage, cost everything. So God has said that we should submit. He knows what he's talking about because he's a God of orderliness. He wants everywhere to be orderly, like enjoy the marriage. So don't be doing, me too, I can do this. You can't stop me. You can't do this. I can't, So when you do not submit, you bear the consequences. Okay? All right, so Isaac and Rebekah. I'm coming. Jacob and Esau's blessing, sword between two brothers because of what the mother did. I still talked about it on my status. Which day? Was it yesterday? Because what the mother did, she lied. She lied to make Jacob to be Esau. And then she created sibling rivalry between Jacob and Esau. She made Jacob collect Esau's blessing, right? No wonder they said obedience is better than sacrifice. Exactly, my sister. That is it. Like the Bible is complete. Obedience is better than just do it. Just obey. Whatever God says you should do, just do it, and you don't bother to be asking questions. Just obey God. Just obey your spouse. And when the spouse has sense, you will obey, you will move forward, you will not stress yourself, right? Thank you, my sister. It was today I talked about it, right? And it was because the mother cursed him. The mother cost him his blessing, and he was pursuing his brother. That his brother Jacob had to run away. They had to send him to somewhere, his mother's sister's place, or mother uncle's place. Because they caused it. They caused sibling rivalry because she did not listen. She went to go and do mago. When you are corny, you will get the repercussion. Okay, so let's just submit. All right. So next subheading: examples of wives who submitted in the Bible. Another example is Abraham and Sarah. Like beginning of Abraham's wealth. I read this, I don't know, I can't remember when. You remember the story where Abraham told Sarah they were going to, was it Egypt? They were going to Egypt. So Abraham told Sarah that she should lie that he's his sister. Sorry guys, I shook the camera. That Sarah should lie that she's his sister, so that they will not kill Abraham. That if they should go there and they should tell them that their husband and wife, they will kill Abraham. But Sarah obeyed. She submitted. And because of that singular act, that she obeyed her husband, and she got there and she said that she's his sister, they let them go. They freed them and gave them all the things that they came with, all their blessings, everything that they came with, and they let them go. So when you do not obey, when you do not submit, right? Thank you, darling. You remember the story. Thank you. So when you do not submit, or when you do not obey, you will get it. You will get the repercussion. Right? God has said that we should obey and submit. God is sensible. He's a sensible God. I mean, he's God. Duh. He knows what he's talking about. Okay? All right. So next subheading, it talk about when there are conflicting authorities. Okay, that's what we just talked about. But another example is Abigail and, is it Nabal? Yes, Nabal. Nabal's foolishness. Nabal was foolish, and because of the conflicting authorities, the wife, Abigail, went to meet him that you're not supposed to fight these people. Just relax, don't fight them. But he said, no, he's a warrior, yada, yada, yada. And he died. They killed him. Right? No, they did not kill him. I think the anger of God was on him, and then he died. Right? So when you do not obey authorities, when you do not obey God, you will bear the consequences. Okay? So for your own sake, for just the sake of your family, for the sake of your future, just obey. All right. Okay, they say not the following: do not overrun your husband's decision or challenge it. Number 2, prayerfully commit his heart unto the Lord so that God would change his decision. So if you think that your husband is making a wrong decision, you should prayerfully talk to God about it. Prayerfully tell God that, oh God, this man that you are giving unto me, I beg, help me touch his heart. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what is happening, but help me, Father. Like, that's why you are there as his helpmate, as his wife, to pray, to intercede for him. Okay? They said the more difficult or conflicting the instructions he wants you to obey. Listen to that. The more difficult or conflicting the instructions he wants you to obey, the longer you should be on your knees interceding on his behalf. So yes, he said you should do something, but you feel like, okay, this thing that my husband is telling me to do, I don't think that it gels. I don't like it. Holy Spirit, what do you think? Do you think this thing is good? Or, maybe you feel like, thank you, my sister. Prayer works always. Prayer works like magic. I don't know what God did. I mean, how God came about that prayer, but gosh, prayer works. Like, they're saying that you should go to God. When he said you should do something, okay, I've heard you, no problem. But in your heart of heart, you know that you are going to God to go and report him to God and say, Father, help me touch this man. I don't know, this decision that he said we should make, this thing that he's saying we should do or I should do. Intervene so that you suffer no harm. This is so powerful. Like, God is just a God, it's just a beautiful God. He said you obey first and see if God will not bless you. Just obey first. You see, God will honor your attitude of obedience. Just the fact that you just obey, God is going to bless you. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. Like, okay, I obey, no problem. I will not fight you. I will not go alone. What's the translation of that now? I will not say no, or I will not fight you and say no. I'm not going to obey you. I will obey you, no problem. I hear you, but I'm going to God. The fact that you obey, God is going to bless you, and that no harm will come to you. That's just so beautiful. I mean, okay, in conclusion, he said God commands the wife to obey her husband, right? And he makes no exceptions even in unpleasant circumstances. He promises guidance and wisdom to the woman who seeks to obey. Oh my goodness, God. He promises guidance and wisdom to the woman who seeks to obey. That you obey God, God is going to give you wisdom. Oh, God is going to give you guidance. He's going to guide you. He offers unmeasured grace for whatever trials a woman faces, while he completes the needed work of conviction in his heart. Like, this is so beautiful. Like, my heart is leaping for joy. Like, he rewards obedience with a usefulness and happiness far beyond our deepest expectations. Like, however, there's a cost. Husbands too should remember that God expects both partners to submit to each other. Like, togetherness again. You submit to me, I submit to you. You submit to your husband, he submits to you, or she submits to you, and vice versa. Okay, so that's the end of unit 5. I hope you've learned a lot. Submission in marriage. It's, when I was reading this part, like, I was so excited. Like, I was just so excited. Like, okay, God, I hear you. I will submit to him. I will not stress him. Whatever he says, I will do. You know, let me collect my blessing. Let nothing take away that blessing for me, because God has ordained this. God has said it, and God is not a liar. God is definitely going to do all things that he says he's going to do. Okay? So, as a married woman or aspiring married woman, go into marriage. If you're already married, just obey your husband. God said it. God commanded it. And there's blessings that is coming upon your head. God is going to guide you. God is going to make your life beautiful just because you obey. All right? But we are always so stubborn and don't want to pray, thinking we can talk him out of it, and last now fight. Exactly. I agree with you. I sincerely agree with you, Anu. You know, sometimes there are some issues that you'll be facing, or there are some talks that is hot, and you'll be like, oh no, excuse me, I have to give him my own back. I have to give it to him hot, and say, oh no, we can't do that. We can't do this. You want to quickly fight it out and let him see. But there's this thing that my mom usually says. She said it in Yoruba, that let me try to explain that. Or translate that rather. That God is behind to tackle him. You want to tell him that I have a better idea than what this thing are telling me. But it's okay. Don't fight him. If you cannot say it with honor, if you can't say the word to use now, say it calmly for him to understand. Just leave it and go to God. God will find for him about it. Okay? All right. So that's the end of unit 5. Unit 6, very quickly. This unit 6 is very interesting too. It's talking about maturity, right? Adjustment in marriage. Yes, so he doesn't lie, neither does he disappoint. Yes, God does not lie and he does not disappoint. Exactly. Hold him to his word. Hold God like this and say, God, you said this. I'm going to hold you and it's going to come through. Okay? All right. Excuse me. So next topic, next chapter rather, maturity / adjustment in marriage. Do you remember we talked about maturity? I think it's in the second series. We talked about maturity. I think it's the first series. You know that as you are preparing to get married, you need to be spiritually mature, physically mature, emotionally mature, psychologically mature, right? In this chapter, they kind of broke it down. Okay, so let's just get straight into it and then we are done. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope just say something. Say, yeah, you're feeling me. Or you're learning or something. And please stop the screen just like this live. Thank you. God bless you. Okay, so let's go into this. All right. Scripture, Ephesians 4:14 verse 15. that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ. Right? It's this scripture is telling us that we no longer be tossed to and fro as an adult. Like, you need to mature. You need to grow up. That's what this chapter is talking to us about, right? In this chapter, they defined maturity as come or bring to full development or to a state ready for use. That's what maturity means. Like, full development in the nature, in the natural rather, means physically, mentally, emotionally, psychology, financial attainment. Like, you are mature, like you are fit. That's what this chapter is talking about. So they talked about hold on please. Okay, next subheading, personality differences. They said there are bound to be differences between two people of different sexes who lived and grew up separately for more than 20 years, right, of their lives. This, together with the following, provides the background to the issue of personality differences. So we're going to be talking about different personality differences, right, in marriage. So they talked about two people growing up together. Two of you grew up, 20-something years. Some people get married when they are 20-something. They wrote in this book that a woman should be like 20 years or thereabout before she gets married. So, you've grown up with your parents for over 20 years or 20-something. Some people even 30-something years before they get married. So there's a culture that is instilled in you. There's something that is instilled in you that you will now go and marry, and both of you will now come together. Both of you have different upbringings. Both of you have different culture. Both of you have, some people even have different religion. Some people have same religion, but they went to different churches. You cannot expect somebody that goes to a white garment church and somebody that goes to what church now? These are our normal Pentecostal, let's say Redeem. It's different. So you have to come together to make it work. Okay? All right? Are you feeling me? So number one, they said personality traits are individually inherited or genetically acquired behaviors in association with your exposure. I just mentioned that. Your social status, education, culture, and religion. Exactly. different ways. People grew up differently. So this morning I was speaking with my husband about how we grew up. That in my house, thank you, my darling, you're the best. in my house, after prayer, when we wake up, we go for prayers. After prayers, you go and do your house chores. Whoever is sweeping, whoever is washing plates, whoever is cleaning the house, whoever is washing daddy's cars. And then after that, everybody, you go and brush your teeth, have your bath, and in the process of you doing that, mommy is already cooking. Okay? Mommy is cooking, and by that time, everybody, and I don't know how it happens, but by the time she's done cooking, everybody is clean, we are ready, we eat, and then you can go by whatever it is you want to do, right? But it's different in my cousin's house. In my cousin's house, when we went there for holiday, in their house, immediately after prayers, you are eating first. You don't brush your teeth, you don't do anything. You eat first. And they have light breakfast, maybe bread, majorly bread. So just bread and egg and tea, something like that. You get my point? That's what they do. That's what they do in their house. So imagine me that from a family of, we wake up in the morning, after praying rather, you go and do your house chores. You walk first. After walking, you go and brush your teeth, have your bath, then come and eat. And somebody like this, my cousin, that in their house first, they first pray. After prayer, you eat. So now imagine just two people say come together. It's conflicting. They'll be like, no, I must eat first too. No, you must brush first too. Do you get my illustration? That so two people from different backgrounds will come together. So you have to come together to make it work. Okay? All right. So next point, they said attempting to maintain your premarital status quo is tantamount to being selfish, right? And this is the major cause of marital failures. when you want to still continue to be a single person, like you still want to be doing the things that you are doing as a single person. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense like that. You are now married. You can't do that. You can't be living like as though you are single and you want to be going to parties day and night. And then I don't know if you guys saw this series. What is it called? Love is Blind. There's this series I saw on Netflix. Love is Blind. It's a series like episode 1 to 6, something like that. There's this couple, they came together. They're about to get married, and the guy is still behaving as though he's single. He still wants to go out with his friends, still wants to go to the club. And the girl was not having it. Like, you can't tell me that we are going to get married and this is the life you are going to be living. Like, you will leave me in the house and then you go and be drinking with your friends every time. Thank you, my darling. God bless you. Excuse me. The friendship between Bev and her friend in love, not exactly. Like, you still want to be living anyhow and be doing anyhow in marriage. It does not work. You need to grow. You need to be mature. You need to grow up and realize that I'm not single again. The things that I have in my house, some values, you need to drop them. Some culture, you need to drop them at home and pick another one as a family, as husband and wife, and come together. Okay? Okay? Another one, they said marriage is not an idealistic union in which either or both parties are perfect, but a realistic and complementary relationship, right? Each person has his or her own strengths and weaknesses. I love this so much. Like, we are not perfect people. We are imperfect people that come together to make it work. Is a decision, is a consciousness that, okay, I found this person that I want to be with, and then we're going to make it work. Some people choose not to make it work. They don't want to make it work. They'll be like, I'm tired, I can't keep fighting. But people that make it work 20 years, 50 years in marriage, and 50 years anniversary, 60 years anniversary, they put in a lot of work. They know their strengths and their weaknesses, and they balance each other. Right? They balance each other. Like this example that I made now. So now, if I'm coming from a family where we have to work first before we eat, and maybe my husband is from a place where they have to eat first before they work, we will meet in the middle. Okay, if it's the food that is doing you, don't worry, the food will be ready. But can we just quickly help me take care of the sitting room while I'm cooking? You know, like that. We are trying to create our own culture. We are trying to do our own thing. That is not what my parents taught me or what his parent taught him, you know, and then bring dysfunctionality into our own home. No, we can't do that. Now you are married, now you are one, now you are together. Okay? So, he's saying here that maturity in marriage is being able to cope effectively. That's what we are talking about. With the physical, mental, emotional, psychological, financial, and spiritual differences in the other person peacefully, without conflict. Like, both of you, we have to come together. Both of you, we have to, you know, you have to cope. You have to follow where what's the Yoruba? What's the English of that now? You have to just make it work and wash each other's hand and just be there for each other. You get my point, right? Excuse me. Next point is, they said the principle of unity in diversity in the Church of Christ is also applicable to the home, right? That despite the avowed differences, there should still be oneness. Despite the fact that your spouse is this kind of person and you are this kind of person, there should still be oneness. Despite the fact that your spouse is different, you are different, this is what your parents taught you, this is what his parents taught him, there should still be oneness. You should still find a way to meet in the middle. Okay? That's just what that point is telling us. So here, the next subheading is temperamental differences. And this is very interesting. Like, they talk about different temperaments. You know, temperament is the unseen force underlying human actions. Why you do what you do. Like, I mean, why am I like this? Why am I loving and always smiling and agile? You know, I accommodate people. Why am I like that? And why is somebody so calm, you know, does not want stress, does not want anybody in their space, you know, different. Thank you, my sister. Watch us together for what we want. Thank you. Exactly. You have to follow where we want in marriage. You have to wash hands together to make the four hands clean. That's it. Okay. Okay, so they say that temperament is the combination of inborn traits or inherited genes that subconsciously affect a person's behavior, and that you need to understand your spouse temperament to create peace and complement coexistence. So you know that your spouse is not a talkative, and then you are a talkative. You're gonna cause trouble. You have to find a balance that, okay, babe, I want to teach you about what happened today, and then maybe, okay, I'm here, I'm listening, and then you realize that 30 minutes she's already feeling somehow. It's okay. Don't overflog it. Leave her alone or leave him alone. It's not like you. I've come to realize that my spouse is not like me, and you just have to make it work. You just have to meet in the middle. Okay? All right, so they said there are four main classification of human temperament, and there is sanguine, there is choleric, there is melancholy, and there's phlegmatic. I'm sure you guys have heard this before and you've read it in books or somewhere. So yeah, it's also in this book. So different types of temperaments and why you do what you do. They're gonna be they spoke about the strength, the weaknesses, and what you should do, if you are any of these four. So let's get straight into it. Number one, they said sanguine. Characteristics of a sanguine temperament: a warm, lively, loving, and natural receptive person, a compulsive extrovert, a talkative, and never at a loss for words, never lacks friends, spread joy everywhere with an infectious high spirit. Sanguines make good master of ceremonies at wedding receptions and other social functions. So are you this person? Are you a sanguine? The strength of a sanguine, it said this person enjoys life and living, right? Optimistic about life, they are friendly. They are never balked by memories of heartaches or disappointments. They are not frustrated nor fearful of future difficulties. This one, they don't send anybody. They are naturally compassionate. They identify with others in their predicaments. They come through for you. That's the strength of a sanguine. Their weaknesses now, they said they are usually very relentless, often impractical and disorganized. They are good at procrastination. It's so funny. I think many people procrastinate a lot though, regardless of your temperament. Sanguine, melancholy, all those things. Sometimes you procrastinate. Let's be realistic. So I'll be like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. I can't kill myself, right? But that doesn't mean that's like who you really are. But then sometimes you just want to flex, right? You would agree with me, right? Okay, they said number 3. This person's a sanguine weakness, right? Lacks commitment, and unless disciplined, is unproductive and never measure up to his potential. This one is very scary. They said weak-willed, undisciplined, and easy compromiser because of the love to please others. Like people pleasers, they are sanguines, people that like to please other people, right? They said he or she easily forgets his resolution, appointment, and obligation. They said this person's weakness is not loyal. Out of sight is out of mind. For a sanguine temperament, if you are a sanguine, out of sight is out of mind. They don't send like just be living like fast. If it's not there, they get out, right? They said this person is not loyal. He or she has problems with lust or sexual temptation. That's the weakness, not like the person, like the person's weakness of a sanguine temperamental person. Okay, he said this person is egoistic, has very unstable emotions. A sanguine could be found repenting from the same mistake several times. This person will say, I'm sorry, but this person is not going to change. They said, okay, so next heading is spiritual need. Spiritual need for a sanguine temperamental person: strong and vital spiritual life to produce self-discipline. So if you are sanguine in nature, your spiritual needs, you need a strong and vital spiritual life to produce self-discipline. You primarily need the fruit of the spirit, like you get temperance, self-control, long-suffering, faith, peace, and goodness. That's what you need spiritually. Example of biblical sanguine are Apostle Peter and Prophet Elijah. These people, they are sanguine in in behavior, in character, or what have you. So the next one is choleric. So do you think you are a sanguine person? Do you think that? Number 2 is choleric. So the reason why they are telling us about this is for you to understand your partner's temperament, so that you are able to understand them and you're able to work in oneness. That's why they're explaining this to us. That okay, some people behave the way they behave because that's who or what they are. That's their trait. That's how they are, naturally. Okay. So number B, they said choleric, a choleric temperament now. Characteristics of a choleric person. They said this person is hardworking, bossy, extrovert, and always want to be in charge. Yeah. Are you guys with me? Please, I want to see comments. Say hello. Yes, I'm with you. I'm enjoying it. And please like the live. We are almost done. Okay, so they said this person is strong-willed, self-sufficient. I got distracted just now. Okay, I found myself very independent, out quick, and a bundle of activities. They said this person is a born leader, not discouraged by adversities, pushes ahead when others are failed and giving up. So someone that is choleric does not give up. This person is a warrior. If you are choleric in nature, I give it to you. They know they give up. They know they give up. When people give up, that's when they are active and they want to do more. Thank you, my darling. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. So their strength, they said they are strong-willed individuals who demonstrate tremendous self-discipline and is very confident in his ability or in her ability. They are very practical, and activities make him or her very happy. So a choleric person is very excited about activities. They want to do things. They want to go out, That's who they are. They have strong leadership tendencies and enjoy dominating others, right? They are optimistic about life. They are always a go-getter. They have unshakable confidence in their own ability. And now we are going to their weaknesses. They are usually hot-tempered. So if you are choleric in nature, you think about it. Are you hot-tempered? Maybe you are choleric, and that's why you behave the way you behave. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, darling. Sorry about your network. Anu's network, receive word of God. Be stable in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, let's continue. So a choleric person is always stepping on other people's toes, right? They grieve the Holy Spirit through bitterness and anger. They often die young. Blood of Jesus. They often die young, wearing himself or herself out with the pressure of life. So because they are pressured, right, they tend to die young. So if you think you're choleric in nature, be coming down, okay? All right. They said cholerics are cruel, unsympathetic to people's dreams, accomplishments, and needs. People that they don't care. If you like, make it. If you like, don't make it. They really don't care. They are not sympathetic for you or about you. That's not their kind of person. Usually difficult for him to apologize. He could easily beat his wife into submission, blood of Jesus, or strike her husband. If it's a woman, if it's a choleric woman, she can strike her husband. In the case of, if you are a choleric wife, you tend to be the husband beater. You get my point, right? They said a choleric person is impetuous, blunt, and sarcastic, very confident, independent, and self-sufficient. They said a biblical example is Paul. I know that this Paul has to be choleric. Is it not Paul that said, you foolish Galatians? Is it Prophet Elisha? Yes, in the Bible. The spiritual needs, what you need as a choleric person, the spiritual need, you need at least 7 of the 9 components of the fruit of the Spirit. That's love, joy, peace, gentleness, long-suffering, meekness, and goodness. If you are choleric in nature, you need these spiritual needs. You need to pray to God for God to help you and give to you. Paul, don't suffer. Yes, so they wrote it here now. Look at it. Apostle Paul. Yes, his temperament is choleric in nature. Let's put it that way. Okay, number C is melancholy. Melancholy Characteristics: a rich temperament, usually analytical, self-sacrificing, gifted, perfectionist, and very sensitive, emotional nature. That want to be like me. Let's continue. More of an introvert, but could become extrovert sometimes, or gloomy and depressed due to his or her changing moods, right? That's for melancholy. Yeah, almost done. Yeah, almost done, guys. Okay, so they said melancholy is a faithful friend, yeah, but does not make friends easily. Don't make friends easily. They are good thinkers, usually has a high IQ, and could easily pinpoint flaws or dangers in any project he or she plans. And they are slow to initiate new projects because they hate taking risks. Is that me? Perfect job there. Very meticulous in life and sometimes legalistic by nature. They want to follow law, they want to follow the rules, they just want to do things right, they don't want trouble. So when your spouse is saying, no, don't do this, let us follow this thing, don't fight him or her. Don't be a warrior and say, no, let's do it. Because no, that's who he or she is. They are legalistic. They want to follow the law. They want to do things right. They don't want trouble. But if you are somebody that likes trouble, you have to try to meet him or her in the middle. Okay? Again, we wash hand. After we wash hand for the hand to be clean. Okay, so they said the strength of a melancholy person is that they are very sensitive and emotionally responsive. They have strong perfectionist tendencies, hence they always go for detail of events. They pay attention to details, right? A faithful friend who could go any lengths to assist or satisfy their friends, right? They are very dependable at work, church, or home because of his self-sacrificing ability. They rarely seek fame but prefers to work behind the scene, right? They know their limitation. They don't they do past themselves. Hardly goes beyond his ability. This that they're explaining, you want to be like me. Like, I know they do past myself. I stay where God put me. I stay where my husband put me. I know they fight anybody. That's it. So they say weakness. They are too self-centered and suspicious. I'm not self-centered though, but I can be suspicious. I like to I pay attention to things and I try to look. Could easily be offended or insulted. Being a perfectionist, they are always too pessimistic, fearful, and indecisive. They're usually very critical in mind and prone to idealize potential mates or associates from a distance. But upon deeper association, they find many weaknesses in their mates. Okay, so it has fluctuating moods and could be very revengeful, right? Biblical examples are Solomon, John, and Moses. Okay? God, I beg. Spiritual needs for a melancholy person, it said you need the fruit of the spirit, and that's love, joy, goodness, faith, and self-control. Okay, so the final one is phlegmatic, a phlegmatic person. The characteristics, it said usually calm, right? Slow, cool, easygoing, and well balanced, unexcited but pleasant and happy. Okay, I beg me, I don't like all those two perfectionists, so they tend to hurt their loved ones' feelings. Maybe not all of them, maybe some of them, right? Like, yes, they may be perfect, they want to do things bing, let's do things this way, orderly. But I get your point. They tend to, I don't know. I can't explain it. That maybe they try to hurt their loved ones' feelings. I don't know, but I feel like they like to take their time. So they are not people that, let's just go for a party and they'll just jump on the party. No, they will think about it. They will think about it very well. Should I go for this party? Should nothing will happen? Are we breaking the law? If they don't like alcohol, say, are we going to be taking alcohol? If they don't like all this truth or dare in parties, they be like, are you people doing truth or dare or not? Let me stay in my house. Like they follow the law. They don't like breaking laws. They don't just prim and proper. Yeah, but then some people they are extremists. They take it to the I think those are the ones you're talking about, right? Like they want to do things that like extremists. They do the things their way. That's who they are. I think so. I believe you. Okay, so they said phlegmatic people are usually kind-hearted and sympathetic, tend to be a spectator in life though full of abilities, right? They do not take leadership position on their own, right? But when responsibility are thrust on them, they could be a good leader. They don't just jump on it. You can't see a phlegmatic person and say, oh, you want somebody to come and be the team lead. Person will not jump on it. No, they don't jump on it. It's if you say, oh, so, can you do this for us? Okay, I will do it. They tend to be great at it, but they won't just come and be jumpy and say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. No, they won't do that for you. Okay, so they said that this phlegmatic people are natural peacemaker, very diplomatic and discreet. They keep accurate and excellent record and able to balance their accounts to the penny. Never takes business risk. I believe what you're saying now, like perfectionist. Very accurate. These ones you can't really steal from them in business. They will catch you. They will know. When they go to the market and they buy 60 things, they will write that I bought 60 slippers or I bought 60 clothes. Anyway, they want to steal from them, they will catch you. After doing everything for them, they will say thank you before they start complaining. I agree with you. There are some people like that. There are some people like these are people I don't like these people too. God have mercy. I mean, you give them something. Instead of them say, oh, thank you, oh, I'm grateful. Before they start complaining, they will first collect the thing and say, this book is so blue. Why is it so yellow? Like they are like I don't know. I agree with you. Because they want it in a certain way, at least you will say thank you exactly before you start complaining. Yes, exactly. How did you feel? Oh, so sorry, darling. There are some people like that. I agree with you. There are some people like that. If I know anyway like this, I will not even stress myself to buy you anything. I rather just give you money, go and satisfy yourself, because it's not me that you will spoil my mood. I want to say I want to be a good friend. I won't do that. I won't subject myself to that kind of person, and you'll be stressing me. No way. Okay, so their strength of a phlegmatic person. You said they are dependable. They always does what is expected, right? Very faithful friend, rarely disloyal, usually a good counselor because of his easygoing nature. Practical, efficient, and well organized. They work better under pressure. I know a friend, right? She likes working under pressure. In school, when they give us assignments or anything, she will not do it though. It's until they say we are submitting tomorrow by 12 noon. She will start doing that assignment today. She will not be running. She will make it though. She will submit. I don't know why people do that. Why will you put yourself under so much pressure? Like, do it when there's time and then live your life. No, that's what you talk about. Like, some people, they work under pressure. So a phlegmatic person works better under pressure when they have wicked bosses. These ones, when they have wicked bosses, they work well. Let me read what you're saying. Oh, sorry, darling. You cried because I had to leave my own work to assist you. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Some people can really make your good, they turn your good against you. Yeah. You said they always look away. That's it now. I can't subject myself to that kind of friendship or to that kind of person that I will be doing things for you and then you will be always complaining that, oh, it's supposed to be like this or it's supposed to be like that, and then you can't tell me thank you first. At least acknowledge that I went out of my way, to make things better for you. You get? So no, me self, I'm not good. I go do my day. I go do my day. So they said phlegmatic weaknesses. They said they are generally slow and lazy due to lack of motivation, hence prefer to be a spectator in life. They find it easy to tease others. And then they are always selfish, stubborn, and quiet. Usually comes up slowly with his better way of doing things. Like they do things slowly. They know they stress themselves. They just, that's their weakness. Excuse me. Spiritual needs. He said, love, fruit of the spirit for a phlegmatic person. You need love, goodness, meekness, faith, and temperance. English. Temperance in terms of motivation. Okay. So above all, a spirit-controlled temperament with the manifestation of the fruit of the spirit is the bedrock of maturity in marriage. So yes, regardless of whether you are choleric, melancholy, sanguine, or phlegmatic, you still need God. You still need the fruit of the spirit. I love you like English. I'm telling you, my sister. You still need the fruit of the spirit. You still need love, goodness, meekness, faith, temperaments, like a bit temperance, and all those things for God to help you in marriage. All right. So premarital requirements. Yeah, almost done. One page to go. Exactly, we all need God. It's very, very important. It's only God. This marriage thing, even in life, you need God to do everything, to help you with everything. So they talked about requirements, premarital requirements. We talked about this in our first video. If you've not seen that first video, go and see it, because people that saw that first video, they'll be able to relate with this one. They said only mature men and women can marry. You cannot marry a small boy. Marriage is not for small boy. It's not for small girl. You have to mature. You have to grow up in all those areas that we talked about, right? Someone who can function in a position of power, leadership, authority, and influence. Like you have sense. You are a man or you are a woman. That is it. Not a girl or a boy. No. Call it work. It can't work. Okay, they said one that is legally recognized as an adult. These are the people that can marry. Here they said they recommend woman to be 21 years and man to be 25 years and above. Okay. They also said someone who is ready to accept responsibility for his or her actions and deeds. There are some people that they don't like taking responsibility. Like you did this. Why can't you say sorry? Why can't you say, oh guys, I'm sorry that I did this, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you, my sister. 2 kids can't take care of themselves. Like, that is it. You cannot. You have to grow up. You have to be mature to even think about marriage, to even think that you even want to do it at all. Like, your brain must be working. You must be able to accept responsibility. Like, you offend your spouse, say, I'm sorry. Accept that you did right wrong or you did him wrong. And then move on. Not that you can't say sorry, you can't say thank you, you can't, all those things, they make people angry. You can't be doing that and then you want your wife to submit to you, or you want your husband to submit to you. It doesn't work like that. Exactly. Pikin no dey marry pikin. Yeah, you must have a stable job, something that you are doing. You must be career oriented or business oriented, whatever. You must do something. You must be independent of your parents. Like, you must be dependent. They say man will leave you, will leave your father and your mother and cleave to your wife. Like in this book, they are saying that you can't even be the way the word say, all this mommy's boy. You can't be that. You can't be a baby. You can't be a boy. You have to be a man. You have to be able to stand alone. You have to be able to make decisions for your family. You have to, the entire family, they are following you. The entire family is following you. And we too have sense. You have to have sense. You get married, God will not bless you. As you get married, you impregnate your wife immediately and then you give birth. And then the entire family, they are following you and you not have sense. You have to have sense. You have to be mature. And people don't know that all those things are manners. Like, they think it is sense. I'm telling you, you have to create it. You have to be a sensible person. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. They say you are proud and you are happy instead of crying. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, somebody will say, "Are you guy? You are too proud," and then you be like, yes, I'm proud. That's who I am." No, instead of you to be crying and say that, "Oh, okay, let me amend my ways, let me adjust my ways." Exactly, you are very correct, very, very correct. So when people are telling you things, or your spouse is telling you things, listen, obey. Don't be full of yourself. You can't even be full of yourself in marriage. Yes, Oju Emabo. What's the translation of that now? Your eyes will see more in marriage. If you are too full of yourself, because your wife or your husband will see that this decision that you are making, you're going to enter into gutter, and you enter that gutter because you are full of yourself or you are proud. You get. Hi, you're welcome. Thank you for joining DJ Sincere TV. Thank you for joining. Okay, so B, they said premarital requirements, you need to be emotionally and psychologically stable, right? You have to have the ability to guide against depression and suppress emotion, which could be injurious both physically and spiritually. You need to be able to, how do I put it now? You have to be able to control yourself. You have to be able to control your spirit, your soul, everything. Married go humble you, your eyes will peel. Thank you. That's the translation. Your eyes will peel. Married will humble you seriously. Honestly speaking. Right? So you need to have the ability to exercise control over fear, joy, anger, love, and jealousy. Some people, you see them and they be like, when they are happy, you are afraid. They'll be like, relax. When they are sad, you are afraid, like, don't go and kill yourself. Some people, when they love you, sometimes it turns to obsession. So you have to be able to manage yourself, like manage your emotions in marriage. And emotions are always flying up and down in marriage. Today you are happy, you are sad, you are joyous, you are jealous, you are this, you are that. You have to be able to manage. That's why you need God. You need God to help you, right? Financial maturity, we've talked about it. There must be a regular source of income. Financial prudence is necessity. There must be money. Love is sweet. When money enter, love is sweeter. You gotta have money. You gotta have money to make the love, continue to boom. That's it. But then again, that shouldn't be the, you have to bear, what's the right word to use now? You have to be there for each other, with or without money, but then again, have money. Okay, this is spiritual maturity. Understand God's principles in marriage as it pertains to leadership, submission, love, commitment, faithfulness, responsibility, monogamy, and all of those stuff. You need spiritual maturity in marriage. It's really, really important, right? Who likes suffering? Nobody wants to suffer. So before you say you want to go and marry, you gotta have some money. No award for suffering. I'm telling you, everybody wants to enjoy. So symptoms of immaturity. So we are almost done. This is the second to the last subheading. You may not notice these symptoms before marriage because you were deeply in love. You may not notice that your partner is immature in marriage until you have gotten into it, and then you begin to see them and see their traits, right? Excuse me. They say, however, whenever weaknesses begin to manifest, the two of you must learn to adjust and live with them, right? The following could be regarded as symptoms. Say sensitivity to criticism. So when you criticize your partner, your partner see you better. You think that you're a good person, but let's ask your partner if you're really a good person, because your partner is like your mirror. They can see you better than you see yourself, right? So when you are sensitive to criticism, and then you be like, you don't take it well. Initially, when I got married, when my husband tells me, oh, this thing that you are doing is not nice, or this thing that you're doing it wrongly, right? And I feel bad. Sometimes I feel bad. I'll be like, oh, when he tells me that, oh, you need to adjust in so and so, I go into my own shell, right? I will just be cool and be calm. And he spoke to me about it, that when I tell you things or I'm criticizing you, you feel some kind of way, and that is going to not make me tell you things when I see you going the wrong way. And I had to adjust. I had to borrow myself, saying that, okay, if this guy is telling me this thing, he wants me to be better. I mean, it's my spouse that is telling me. It's not like I'm going outside to go and embarrass myself. And he's telling me that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Okay? So, when you are sensitive to criticism, it's a symptom of immaturity in marriage, right? So you need to grow. When they criticize you or criticize your work, you need to know how to take it in very well. Okay? They said perfectionist tendencies that makes one to be absorbed in one's own idea only. That's exactly what Anu said. People that are perfectionists, they have to be perfect, you know. They said it's a sign of immaturity in marriage. No, don't do that. You can't do that. I don't know, this lipstick is giving me white mark on my lips. Okay, I think it's better now. Sorry guys. Okay, they said outburst of temper and aggression is a sign of immaturity. If you think that you are mature in marriage and any small thing, you have turned everything upside down, you are angry, is a sign of immaturity. You need to relax, you need to humble yourself, let them talk to you, let them talk sense to you. When you are angry, know how to express yourself in a better way, not that you are aggressive about it, Another point is a failure to assume responsibilities in the home. And the financial aspect should be from both sides, exactly from both sides. I'm telling you, as a woman, you need to have your money. As a man, you need to have money so that you can follow very well. Final point is a failure to take to correction and accept that you are wrong. Exactly, is a form of immaturity. If you can't take correction, is a form of immaturity in marriage. So look at yourself deeply, look inward, like that. Do you take corrections? That if you can take correction without transferring aggression, without angry, you are mature. But if you cannot, you are immature. So you need to work on yourself. They say carelessness. You can't be careless in marriage. We cannot overemphasize on this. You cannot be careless in marriage. You cannot do things anyhow. You cannot just jump and be, just do things and not think things through. You are immature if you are careless in marriage. If you do things carelessly and you just make careless decisions and put your family at risk, it's a form of immaturity. So if you do all of these things, you need to retrace yourself. You need to think inwardly and then work on yourself. Final subheading, overcoming immaturity. They said you should accept your partner's suggestion for correction. When your partner is talking to you, accept it. Let your partner speak to you. Let your partner correct you. Let people correct you. Accept it. People correcting you. And again, when you are correcting your spouse or you are correcting someone, you need to be constructive about it. You are telling me that, oh, what I'm doing is wrong, and you are just shouting about it or embarrassing me about it. I won't like it. So you need to be constructive in correcting your spouse for them to also grow and be mature, to what you want them to be. Okay? So accept your partner's suggestion for correction. Treat your selfishness as a sin. If your acts offend your fellow man, do not excuse your selfishness. Exactly. We are talking about overcoming immaturity. Like, don't excuse your selfishness. Don't see it as, oh, that's me, that's who I am. Now, so I did behave. No. It's a nonsense talk. Oh, that's how I am. I can't change myself. I can't change for anybody. No. When people are telling you that you are proud, when people are telling you that, oh, you talk to people anyhow, when people are telling you that you don't know how to talk, don't say it as, that's what they do. That's how I behave. No. Look inward and try to be better. Okay? They said you should ask God to deal with your selfishness first before that of your spouse. Ask God to deal with your selfishness first before that of your spouse. Whenever you feel resentful, frustrated, or generally hostile, stop and take an objective look at the cause and pray about it. This is very interesting. Always correct in love. Exactly. Like, this is very interesting. This point I just read. Sometimes my husband talks to me and I'll just be hostile. I don't know. I'll just be angry. Maybe I read something online or somebody did something to me. They are saying it that don't transfer aggression to your spouse. Don't do it. You know, sometimes you behave in a certain way, and then you yourself, you know that, this thing that I did, why did I do it? Like, me, what's in me? What's happening? How did I get here? What's wrong with me? Yeah? Excuse me. Like, look inward. Look inward. Before you even correct your spouse, you yourself, look at yourself first. Right? They said, next point, they said, repair any damage done by your self-centeredness and learn to say, sorry, I was wrong, or forgive me. Exactly. Some people don't know how to say sorry. Some people don't know how to apologize, rather. You want to apologize properly. Don't give half-baked apology. You want to apologize to your spouse and you're saying, sorry, I didn't mean to I didn't mean to do it, and you too, they vex. No, don't say that. I'm angry because I'm angry. I'm hurting because I'm angry. So you want to apologize properly, or don't apologize at all. When you give half-baked apology, it messes with the person's head. It doesn't even make the apology, or it doesn't even make you look good. When you apologize, when you give half-baked apology, you don't look good. It doesn't make sense. You make matters worse if you give half-baked apology. Apologize properly. Before you apologize, think about it. How do you want to lay this apology? How do you want to say it? You want to apologize because you want to make things better. Don't go and apologize and make things worse. Some apologies make things worse. Like, so why don't insult my intelligence. You know, some people insult their spouse's intelligence because they want to come and apologize, and they make you look as though you are the one wrong, you are the one at fault, whereas they are the ones. So, yeah, they're telling us that you want to apologize well. I'm sorry I was wrong. Please forgive me. I sincerely apologize. I know that I did so and so, and this didn't hurt you. I'm sorry, I won't do that, and I promise not to do that again. You know, you state what you did. You know, I'm sorry I spoke to you in that manner. Good. Number one, you acknowledge that you spoke to me in a wrong manner, and I'm sorry that hurt you. Two, you acknowledge that you hurt me. Number three, going forward, I won't speak to you in that manner. That's a proper apology. I'm sorry I did this. I know you feel bad, or you felt bad. I'm sorry. I promise not to talk to you in that manner again. I promise not to do that again. That is a proper apology. Not you saying sorry, and you know that I'm like that, or you're sorry, you too, you you raise your voice at me. You know, you were in public, it doesn't matter. You know, apologize appropriately. Let me read what Anu said. That sorry, it is not easy at times, and a woman, they always apologize. Men will use style to bribe uni. Well, I understand that it's very hard to apologize, but you need to, what's the word now? You need to grow up. You need to come to that state of maturity to be able to apologize. You get, and that's what we will instill in our children. If you instill in your children that you have to be able to apologize, you have to be able to say you're sorry, you have to be able to say thank you. But when a child is already seeing that mommy does not apologize, daddy does not apologize, they begin to pick it up, and before you know it, we are recycling children that don't want to apologize, and they just go outside and hurt people. You get, so you will tell God to help you. I want to be able to apologize to my spouse when I hurt him, and intentionally apologize. And men too should do better, and they should stop bribing women in that you want to apologize, and then you start buying gifts. Yes, you can buy the gift. I mean, nobody who does not like a good gift. You can buy the gift, right? Yes, but after you have properly apologized, then bring the gift. Not like you'll be tossing gift on me and then I'm still hurting in my spirit. No, it won't work. I won't be even excited about the gift. But apologize, make me feel better first, and then you now give me gift. That's the icing on the cake. That's not the main cake. Okay? Couples need to do better. Okay? All right. They said communicate with your partner about his or her fault and endeavor to do this in love. We already mentioned this, like correct your spouse in love. Don't be demeaning. You know, don't bring him down. Don't bring her down because you want to correct her. Oh, this food that you cook is so terrible. Why don't you do this? That's not a nice way to, correct somebody. Correct me with love. Oh, well done. This, because it took sweat and blood for you to cook. Well done, but next time, can you reduce the salt? You know, that's a normal way to talk to a woman or a man. You know, correct in love, with love, right? Let me read. When my 1-year-old does something, instantly it will tell you sorry. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let me see how you will beat him. The way you will tender the sorry. Yes, so saying sorry actually soften the mind. Exactly. And this boy is going to be a great man or woman, a great man. You know, he will tell you sorry, and then it melts your heart, it touches your heart, and be like, okay, yeah, I'm raising a great child. You know, I'm raising a good man that will not go about hurting women or hurting their classmates or anyone outside. You get my point? So that's it. And the big things they learn from us a lot. A lot. Okay, so they said if the change you desire is not forthcoming, it is not the time to stop expressing love. You know, ask God to fill your heart with the love all the same, so that you can love your partner in spite of his or her weaknesses. Exactly. Like, tell God to pour so much love in you. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard, you know. You desire to see changes in your spouse and you want to continue to love him. You want to grow and overcome immaturity and not hold things against him or against her. Tell God to fill your heart with love, that it is in abundance, that you pour on him, pour on your children, and pour on the world at large. You get my point? Just keep praying, and God is ever faithful. Right? So final point, they say forget mistakes and sins. Yeah, how to overcome immaturity. Don't forget, we're talking about how to overcome immaturity. That forget past mistakes and sin. Do not keep a record of wrongs. Do not even make reference to them. Right? That's what we're saying. That's what we're talking about. That when you apologize properly, it is easier for somebody to forgive you. But when you give half-baked apology, I mean, it doesn't work well. I will still remember. I will still be thinking about it, that this person did not apologize to me very well. You get my point, right? So you need to forget past mistakes to overcome immaturity. It states here that you are immature if you are still referencing the mistakes that your spouse has apologized for, and you're still saying, when you did this, when you did that. Don't do that to your spouse. Don't do that. Move forward. Don't look at the things that are old, but focus on the things that are in front of you, the future. Okay? But then again, when you hurt your spouse, intentionally apologize. Okay? All right. In conclusion, they said, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that takes a city. That's a beautiful passage. That's Proverbs 16:32. Let me say that again. Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. When you are slow to anger, when you don't allow people to move you, you don't allow things to move you, you are slow to anger. It's not that you are stupid, it's not that you do not feel things, but you rather just relax. You know, they say that you are better than the mighty. And that brings us to the end of today's live video. I hope you enjoyed it as I did. Right, next week we're going to be talking about communication in marriage, as well as let me see it, finance in Christian marriage. Next week, communication in marriage and finance in Christian marriage. So I look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I am super grateful. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful you stayed to the very end. Some people are on this slide, but they did not see anything. So I don't know you. I can't see your name. Only if you maybe said something or say something rather, I can see you well. But yeah, thank you guys. I love you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.